gorgeous. You can already feel it cooling off. Just getting to be that. Oh yeah. I got a big cat on, actually, is what this is. Sorry to put my thumb on the camera. He is all gotta flip this around so I can. Probably this is brand new line, so it shouldn't break. I've not put on back reel yet. It's just not real big. I'm gonna turn off the trend. Fun little pike fish for sure. What is that, Cop? What is that, Cop Chopper? Alright. Nice. Mahoney Lake channel catfish on the Ned, baby. On the PB&J half melted Z-Man Ned. He's got some interesting little bumps there. So, good fighter, probably a 2.5 pound fish. He's going back in the lake. See you later, dude. All right. Alrighty, folks. Tyler Mahoney here. It is, I believe, August 23rd. We are at Mahoney Lake at what I call MahoneyHQ. We've got some big fish in here. We just don't catch the big bass very often. A lot of them are in that 12 to 14 inch range, and the crappie are out of control. They're studs in here, and that's probably the main reason why our bass aren't doing great. So we've been trying to take crappie and bass out, just try to lower the predator numbers. We've got walleye in here as well, northern yellow perch. It's just, I'm sure, there he is. Feels pretty good, actually, but don't know what it is. Is he gonna jump? He's staying deep. But yeah, so, you know, it's just one of those things that it's probably all out of whack, and we just got to do a better job of, nice fish. Nice bass. Oh my gosh. They are gorging. Absolutely gorging as this cold front moves in. Look at the size of the gut on that fish. I hope you guys will see that. It'll be interesting to see how that turns out when I go to look at this video. He looks like a 13.5-ish fish. We'll see here in a second. Okay, well, went to put him on the bump board, flopped out of my hands, and back into the water. So, no measurement on him. It's just nice being out here. You don't have to catch a ton of fish to have a great time. And there's one swimming off with it, and I got him on. And it is just going nuts. It is, what is that? It might be a little walleye. Nope, it's a largie. It's a largie. Little guy. That is a 12.5-inch fish. We're gonna let him go for now. So let's see if I can get back on topic, because I've been shooting a couple of these videos catching fish, and I'm trying to get to the point where I am introducing a new video series that I'm hopefully is going to be somewhat consistent, if not every week, at least every couple of weeks, where I just talk about some hunting and fishing topic while I'm sitting here on the water. And I might even do one in the tree stand when I'm deer hunting, depending on how much action is going on. So, oh, and now I'm snagged, so we're gonna go over there and get that. But I hope you'll subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're on Facebook, be sure to follow the Mahoney Outdoors Facebook page so you can follow along there as well. I do the most updating from Facebook. I'm trying to be more consistent with YouTube. So anyways, without further ado, you know, I want to cover a variety of topics, stuff that doesn't get talked about, stuff that does, and give you a good old West Central Missouri boy's opinion on things, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Okay, good, that popped right out, so that was nice. So what I was going to talk about tonight, just where you can get good information online about fishing, how to catch fish, whether it's on the bank, from a boat, in your general area. I've looked at forums, I've looked at websites, I've been on apps. There's a, oh, put it down. Been on Fishbrain and I think Fishity, or I can't remember all the freaking names of all these apps. And quite honestly, I've been on Facebook groups, Instagram, Twitter, follow the pros, YouTube channels. There's just so many avenues for information. So how do you sift through it all, make sense of all the information out there? It's a challenge, because what I've come to find out since doing the Kansas City Star fishing report for the last couple of years and being very involved in fishing, I've always been involved in fishing, but it's just gone to the next level here the last couple of years since I've been doing that for the Star. And what I found is there's just so much marketing on products. Oh, there he is, right there. Oh, well, what the heck was that? He slammed it. That's the problem with these Neds. Sometimes the hook just does not get in them because it's such a thin wire hook. That was goofy. Let's see if we can't get him again. But anyways, how do you make sense of all this? There's a ton of marketing, and it's just one of those things that they tell you got to have different line for every application of fishing, when in reality you could probably get away with 10-pound mono on a decent $70 to $80, if that, combo bait caster for a vast majority of your fishing applications for the average fisherman. There are certain times where the marketing does go along with what the best technique really is, but a lot of it's all hype. But anyways, the main thing that I've seen on all these resources, there are a lot of good ones on YouTube. If you're gonna look at YouTube, you're trying to learn about bass fishing, I would recommend following or subscribing to Wired to Fish. Does a pretty good job, as well as Tactical Bassin. Those guys are really informative, almost to a fault. They just get into the details like crazy. Very good channel to watch. I highly recommend it. I watch them all the time and have learned a substantial amount from them. They're using really expensive, nice equipment, but they'll go through stuff for the average budget as well. So recommend following them. As far as the professionals, there's very few that I actually consistently follow. It's fun to just watch them catch fish on TV, but they all have sponsors. They've all been with multiple sponsors a lot of the time. There are some that have had some of the main sponsors for a long time, and that's great. But they got to make a living, and to enter all those tournaments is not cheap. So you just kind of have to understand that's part of the business for them. They have to have sponsors to be able to make a decent living. Just because they have a big jackpot win doesn't mean that they're absolutely killing it. If you knew the amount of money that went into those wins, it would blow your mind. So just keep that in mind when you're listening to pros push products. You just gotta not necessarily take it with a grain of salt, but just understand that there is that factor going into it. As far as the apps go, I haven't really spent a lot of time on them. I've found that they're just end up being just like I said, too much time with all the other stuff that I have going on. I'm a full-time sales director at a healthcare company, and I'm trying to put out information about fishing around Lee Summit and just the Missouri, Kansas area in general. I just don't have time to be on all of those. So what I've done is I've found that the best information for me is local Facebook groups. And I've actually started a couple that have really done well. Lee Summit Area Fishing, I think, has just over 3,200 members now in just under a year and a half. So that's really cool. And one of the things that I've really strived for is making sure it's a very welcoming, all-inclusive, family-friendly group. You'll find a lot of these fishing groups are not adminned or moderated very well, and so they get out of control. People talk trash on each other. They make fun of people for keeping certain fish, or give them a lot of trouble about it, the way they hold the fish, all that kind of thing. And unfortunately, it's just the days of the internet that we're in now. You can't avoid it unless you find a group that's very well moderated. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I think we do a good job, my buddy Peyton Hayes and I, in the Lee Summit Area Fishing Group, as well as some of the other groups that we have. Southwest Missouri Area Fishing, Peyton Bennett of That's a Good Fish helps moderate that one. Northwest Missouri area fishing, Northeast Kansas area fishing, Southeast Kansas area fishing, Missouri hunting and fishing. These are all individual groups that I started with my buddy Peyton with the goal of providing information about those niches. And so if you're looking for information on a particular area where you're at, I highly recommend getting on Facebook and searching for groups like that. You will find lots of good information, and even though there will be some bad apples that just don't play well with others in these groups, you'll find that a lot of people are very helpful, and especially if you're willing to put in a little bit of work as well. I will say, you know, as far as it comes to etiquette in these groups, you just got to be careful. People get really offended when folks get on there and are like, hey, can you give me your best spot? I really want to go catch some fish. Well, that's all fine and good, but they did a lot of work to find those good spots. I just had a bump on this. I'm throwing this, never thrown this before. It's like a mini A-rig, just that main one that has a hook on it. I'm going to turn the camera just a little bit so that I'm still in the frame a little, but so you can see where I'm throwing here. And anyways, you're probably not doing yourself any favors if you go in there like that and aren't offering anything in return, like spots that you fish that are good, or offering to take someone out if they'll help you understand and learn some of the local areas. Wow, that's another cat, I'm pretty sure. What is that? No, that's a bass. Wow, that's really cool. That's my first bass on the mini A-rig. I'm guessing that he's probably around 11 inches. I'll see here in a second. That is a 12-inch largemouth. So anyways, as I was saying, you know, you just got to be mindful that folks are willing to help in many cases, but you just have to be a little careful about the way you approach it in these Facebook groups, because people just take things the wrong way on the internet like crazy. You would think fishing would not be that controversial, but holy moly, it is controversial. You just cannot escape the politics and people talking trash for what they perceive are wrong ways to handle fish. And that's the other thing. If you feel like in a picture you are holding a fish not the right way, just don't post it. You're asking for trouble. And I've seen it literally deter young kids from posting because of adults going after them. And it's really sad to say, but the solution shouldn't be don't post your Facebook or your fishing picture, but in all honesty, you're just going to get a lot of negativity if you're holding the fish by the jaw, not supporting it horizontally, and things of that nature. So just avoid it if you can, and just wait till you get that next good fish picture, and because you will deal with the fishing police, I can tell you. Some might disagree with my take on it. That's okay. That's just the way what I've observed, and it's just really unfortunate. So that's just some of the etiquette on that. I would recommend, if you find a group that is all about posting memes, there's so many fishing groups that have gone downhill like crazy that I've been in because of people just get bogged down posting all these fishing memes, which are funny to watch or look at, but they just provide no value. And in all reality, we probably all, there he is again right there. Nicer. I don't know. Oh my goodness, they were schooling right there. There was multiple bass coming up on that. Let's see if I can't get him to hit again. He spit it. I don't know if you guys saw that on camera. Oh my gosh, that was cool. I can see why people are excited about the A-rig, and this is just a mini, this isn't even an A-rig. Wow, that was cool. Yeah, there was 2 or 3 bass in there that you guys wouldn't have been able to see, unfortunately. Anyways, now I lost my train of thought, unfortunately. I was wondering if that was going to be a problem for filming a fishing video, catching fish, and then forgetting what you're talking about. Now I'm getting a call from my cousin. I'm going to have to call him back. Let's see if we can't get a couple more fish here on the A-rig. But yeah, we were talking about memes. So in the Lee Seminary fishing group, it was starting to get really bogged down. It was really, really good for the first year, with people posting a lot of tips and tactics and fish they were catching, tons of fish pictures. And then this summer, it just really started going nuts with the memes. which again are entertaining, but they provide no value. Gosh darn it, you hit it, come back for it, come back for it. And so what I did as a solution was to say, hey, look, I know we all love seeing the memes, even though we all see these on our own personal timelines. Let's create a day, Meme Wednesday is what I did, and we'll just post memes in the comments, and that way we all get to see the memes still, and it doesn't bug down the main thread of the group. So that was the solution, and you would never believe, but there were some people that freaked out. They thought I was censoring their free speech, all this stuff, and unfortunately we had to go down a couple of members because they were just being really unruly and disruptive, and there's just no place for that. I try to be a good example online, and it's just so difficult sometimes. Button so it would save it. There he is. Good fish. Nice fish. All right, on the mini A-rig. They're starting to feed right now, that is for sure. That's a lot of fun right there. That's another probably 12-inch fish. Let's verify. 12.5-inch standard Mahoney Lake largemouth. We're trying to get them to grow. Like I said, I found that the best information for finding good fishing tips for the local area is looking on Facebook groups. Man, there's just so many. There's a Facebook group for individual lakes, for areas, and I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. I've made a lot of friends doing it. Been fishing with people that are way smarter than me, way better at me than fishing. Learned a lot, and you just never know. I mean, literally a year and a half ago, some of these folks I had no idea existed on the face of the planet, and now I go fishing with them every couple of weeks. So that is just, that's the power, that's the positive power of social media that you don't really ever get to hear a lot about. So you know, some might say, well, dude, you're kind of weird, man. You're meeting up with random people and all this kind of stuff. Well, yeah, I guess to some extent that is true. However, a lot of these folks, you know, you interact with online for such a long time. You see their pictures, you can tell they're legit, and you find out they have mutual friends, and it's kind of easy to do some background checking if you know what you're doing online. Let me know what you think of my take on things with finding good information and Facebook groups in general. That was kind of the main topic I wanted to get to, was the Facebook groups, because it's just been an interesting experience having been a part of so many and running them, and just being a member and an admin. It's quite interesting. So be sure to read the rules of each group. Some groups do not moderate whatsoever. If you run a lure business, they don't care if you blast it all over the place, but some folks are very strict about it. Me in particular, I'm actually fairly strict, because I've been in groups that they just end up being add, and just plug, just nonstop, and it's just really annoying. And so I want, in my groups, whenever something like that is posted, for it to be meaningful. So it has to get approval from me or one of the other admins before anything gets put up as far as an advertisement. I do allow some YouTubers to put their YouTube channel in there occasionally, and if it gets to be a little much, I'll have them dial it back. We've had a couple in the last week that have just posted 4 or 5 times. Not really what we're here for. And that's the other thing. If you're going to allow ads in your group, if you're planning on starting a group, I would limit it to people that are local and that it is relevant to the lakes and area that you're at. And that way it's just not super spammy. People can go and support those local fishing and hunting businesses. So everyone loves to support local. Anyways, that's pretty much it as far as Facebook group goes and information. There's so many resources out there. Just make sure you're considering the source, where it's coming from, who the sponsors are, what the marketing is behind it. That'll kind of help you weed through some of the stuff that might not necessarily be worth your time in following or pursuing. You know, for me, I don't have any sponsors whatsoever. I do talk about products that I like. For example, you'll notice in my fishing videos, I run almost exclusively Lew's rod and reels. Love them. Local Missouri company. Customer service is outstanding. I would love to be sponsored by Lew's, but I just don't have the reach, unfortunately, that the pros do. But I'll tell you what, I'll talk about Lew's all day, every day. They've replaced rods that have broken at no charge. I just called them about a reel, a bait casting reel, where the outside brake jammed and wouldn't come unjammed, and called them on what to do, and they said, hey, don't worry, we're just gonna send you a brand new piece. And so that's gonna be arriving in the mail here this coming week. So for what that's worth, love them, but it's just one of those things. You gotta, for folks that are pushing a bunch of information and they're sponsored by a company, doesn't mean their stuff isn't good. You just gotta consider the source, and Facebook groups and forums are really good resource to fact check everything, double check, because you're gonna get, you're gonna get the real story. it's the real deal there in those groups, because they can be up front. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you're interested and you're in Missouri and Kansas and you're interested in any of the groups that we have, again, Lee Summit Area Fishing. It covers Lake Jacomo, Blue Springs, Prairie Lee, Longview, some of the local little creeks and whatnot. Goes all the way down to Warrensburg and Harrisonville. I have a pretty big little map that I cover in the Lee Summit area. Missouri Hunting and Fishing is just a general hunting and fishing group. Northwest Missouri Area Fishing, Northeast Kansas Area Fishing, Southeast Kansas Area Fishing, and Southwest Missouri Area Fishing are all groups that Peyton Hayes and I run, and I think we do a good job. And if you want to check them out and join, let us know what you think. Appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind staying in touch with us on some of these video podcasts we're going to be doing from Mahoney Lake, be sure to subscribe before you go on YouTube, and also check us out on Facebook, Mahoney Outdoors. Let's see, we might. Oh no! He pounded it. That was a good fish, and he spit it. That's kind of interesting. This lure has had multiple fish spit it. Let's see if we can't get them back here. One more to end the video. That would sure be nice. Come on now. Come on now. Let's get one more fish to end the video. Should I try throwing the frog to end this video? I think, not the frog. What am I saying? The rat. Let's throw the rat. See if we can't get a fish on the rat. Single treble hook before we close out this video. If we're gonna get a topwater bite, it's gonna be over in this little canal. Turn the camera so you can see. It's like a hidden little area of our lake that we had cleared out. Wow, that was a loud horsefly. Goodness gracious. There it is right there. No! Oh, I had him, and that was a nice fish. God, that scream probably sounded so girly, but I freaking had him out here in the middle on camera. Dang it. That was a nice fish. And then I'm going to bring it. You're going to see me cast. I'm going to cast up there even further. And we're just going to bring it over the top of some of this brush. If you're going to get a bite, you'd think it's going to be just like I thought, man. Right there, just like I thought. Let's see if we can't get him one more time. Oh no! No! It wasn't a very big one. It was not a very big one. We're gonna get a mouse fish on camera, okay? I just gotta position the boat right so that we get it. Man, it's hard to drop that thing in lightly. Okay, right here. There's gonna be a fish up in there. It's just gonna be tough to land it, and then you'll see those two little lanes in that brush. We're gonna see if we can do it. Let's try the outside edge first. Okay, take it. Oh no! Oh, it was hanging over the branch. It was hanging over the branch. Picture perfect. No, I cannot get a hook set on this thing. And this lake, I mean, it was empty, literally empty. There he is. There he is on the mouse. Right there, boys. Yes! Got him on the mouse. Yes. On the freaking, oh! Now I'm trying to lose him before I can even show the fish. It's not even a big fish. but got him. Got him on the mouse. Look at that. Golly, that was freaking awesome. But I got him on that mouse, that single treble, freaking finally, after missing like 5 or 6 and a couple of good ones. That is awesome. That made my night. This guy is going back. Oh, you didn't get your fish licked, did you? That's okay. You'll get another chance, I promise, when that stuff's happening. There's another one! Another one, 2 in a row. Right from under that log. On the mouse. Check that out. Unbelievable. Finally, hopefully figuring it out. He just came out of nowhere and smashed that fish. Sometimes that happens, unfortunately. I hate it. And Copper's trying to get a fish lick while I'm trying to get this fish under control. He's doing all right. We're going to let him back, though. We're not going to measure him. It's another 12 and a half, 12 and 3/4 inch fish. But goodness gracious. I didn't have time to get the camera set up. That's an awful lot of fun right there. Gotta be a fish in there. I did a hard 1-2, and let's see if we can't get him again. Came out after it. It makes some of these baits where the bill, oh, that has got to be a, oh, you saw it. What did I called it. I called my shot. I just didn't get the hook set. Let's see if we can't get him to bite again. I thought I had a pattern going with letting them take it. Okay, I have to throw the Ned on this thing. Copper, I just don't get you. Why are you stepping on that part of the rod? Like the very end of the rod. Alright, I'm just going to put the camera on me. Were you just whining? Yes. Yep, and there he is. Just like I thought he would be. This feels like a bluegill, quite honestly, but it is a bass. It is a bass. On the Ned. Called my shot right there. Now, it's not that hard to call your shot in this lake. It's another 12 and a half. Back you go. Alright guys, I'm going to close out the video before the lighting gets too bad. It's starting to get dark. Hope you subscribe if you enjoyed it. And if you feel like sharing, gosh, that'd be amazing. We'd really appreciate it. Comment, let us know what you like, if you agree with some of my takes on things. And if you're on Facebook, go ahead and like the Mahoney Outdoors page. We post a lot there, and like I said, subscribing on YouTube is really going to help us out. We're trying to be more consistent on that as well, and really excited about this new video series, just discussing various hunting and fishing topics while fishing from MahoneyHQ. Thanks a bunch. We'll catch you guys soon. Oh! He just smashed it twice and missed. There he is. Got him. Love it. Love it. Oh goodness, that grazed me. That is the dangerous thing about multiple treble hooks. That grazed me on the finger. That would have been unpleasant on a teeny 11-inch bass. Gonna drop the Ned right there in that corner. There we go. That's where I wanted to be. There he is, and he's on. Oh, check that out. Acrobatics. And that is how we are going to end the night for like the third outro that I've done. That's fun right there. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.